Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my people.
So fun. This is so fun. Stop so I can film my intro. Good morning, my people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, so I asked over on my Instagram if you guys wanted me to do a pregnancy Q&A and kind of talk to you guys and answer your guys' questions about my pregnancy. And so we got some cool questions and I'm super excited to talk about this with you guys. And I'm still kind of like mind blown that I'm even like making pregnancy videos or that I'm pregnant, but we're just gonna jump right into it. So the first question that I got was, what prenatal do you take? So I take I always want to call it the wrong thing. I think it's Nature Made. I take one prenatal and one folic acid, and I take it at night. So I used to take it in the morning, but I don't know if it's because I was in my first trimester back then, but it would make me so nauseous. So I set an alarm clock for 9 p.m. every night, and that's when I take those vitamins. Did you use any apps to track your ovulation? So I tracked my period. I didn't necessarily like track my ovulation. Like obviously it would tell you what your highest ovulating days were, but I tracked my period using Flow. It's just like it's spelled F-L-O. And I've used that for years now. And so I kind of always had an idea of like my periods, my ovulation, stuff like that. 7 weeks in and desperately needing tips for fighting nausea. Okay, that is, oh my gosh, the first trimester is so hard. Like just stay patient because I promise you it's going to get easier. So a few things that I noticed would absolutely help me, and I wish I would have realized this sooner, is eat something as soon as you wake up. So whether that's like keeping some saltine crackers by your bed, keeping some nuts or something where you can literally just roll over and eat something, because for me, I was so sick when I first woke up, and if I didn't eat, I was miserable. And so as long as I got something in my belly, I was fine. And so my routine that I had was I would wake up and I'd like run downstairs and make a bagel, and I would eat a bagel real quick because I had to eat something. And not every time it would work. Like I was making like smoothies. I literally remember one morning I made a smoothie and immediately threw it up. So you just like, sometimes you just have to kind of roll with the punches, but I promise you there's a little baby growing inside you, and it is going to get better because once you hit that second trimester, you're going to feel amazing and you're going to feel more like yourself. But yeah, I would say definitely eat something, rest when your body's telling you it needs to rest. I took a nap every single day because I was just so exhausted and so sick. But another thing I would say is to keep snacks and constantly snack. I don't have to do that right now anymore, but I literally had to eat every 2 hours, like meals, and I was snacking all throughout the day. So I always had something like in my purse. I made sure our house had like a bunch of snacks for me, and as long as I kept my stomach like pretty full, I was okay. So hopefully that could kind of help you. Did you take ovulation strips before trying to conceive? No, I did not. You know what's funny is my sister actually bought me them, but I never ended up using them because I found out I was pregnant like shortly after. So no, I never did. What are your current cravings? I really like burritos right now. Like I always want a burrito. I feel like I always want dessert at night, so I've been having that. So yeah, I would say carbs, and more carbs. Okay, next question. Did you ever take pregnancy tests before you started trying to conceive? Yes, I swear I've taken like 1 million in my life, and I had so many different scares and they always came out negative. So I literally thought for the longest time I couldn't have my own kids. Have you had any wild dreams about baby yet? I still remember mine 13 years later. Okay, I just had a funny dream about our baby. So first off, I had a dream that Cody like had the baby. Like this makes no sense, but it's a dream, so whatever. But Cody had the baby for like a really long time, for like months, and I hadn't seen him, and I don't know why. And then like he came in his nursery, and I was like, oh my God, like I haven't had chance to breastfeed yet. And I was like, what have you been giving him? And then he like had like a formula, whatever, a bottle with formula in it. And I was like so heartbroken and sad. And then, so he gave me the baby, whatever. I was hanging out with him, and then I was changing him, and I go to like change his diaper, and he was a girl. It's so weird. And I was like, you're supposed to be a little boy. And so that was the weirdest dream. Also, I had a dream that we were out of diapers and we were out of like a bunch of stuff, and I was like stressing. So I feel like subconsciously I'm stressing a little bit, and like I keep having the weirdest dreams. Have you bought anything? Okay, so I haven't gotten much, but I have gotten a few clothes. Of course, I would buy my baby clothes. I love clothes. So I got him some little checkered Vans, and I got him a few onesies. So that's all I've gotten so far, but I do have my eye on a bassinet that I want. So yeah, I'll probably get that soon too. 2-week wait symptoms before your positive pregnancy test. So I did just make a video about this, guys, if you want to go back and watch that one. But I had 3 main symptoms. I was extremely emotional, I was tired, and I got a cold. Biggest changes you've noticed in your body so far. Okay, TMI, my boobs have grown so much. It's so weird. So definitely that was like the first thing I started noticing. Also, like, of course, my hips are wider, my stomach's obviously bigger. But yeah, I think like my stomach and my boobs, definitely. Like, I feel like I'm in a different body. It's so weird. Have you thought of what names you might consider for the baby? So we have his name picked out. It is a name that I've liked like my whole life, and I saw it for a girl or a boy, but I wanted it more for a boy. So when we found out he was a boy, we were like, yep, that's his name. I feel like Cody and I are very decisive, and once we like something, or like once we like want something or like something, like our mind's made up. So we have his name, but I'm not going to share his name until after he's born. What was the feeling, and when was the first thing you actually felt pregnant? So I never understood this before I was pregnant. I never understood when people said this, but your body is just going to feel different and you're going to know. I don't know how to explain it, but I had those little symptoms, but the day I took my test, I just knew something was off. And I don't know, I feel like we're all very in touch with our bodies, and you can kind of tell when something's off, and I just knew. I don't know. Like, it was like I felt tired, my body felt a little funny, and I was like, I'm going to take a test, and then voila, there was a baby in there. Are you worried how the dogs are going to be with the baby? I'm sure it will be fine. You know, I think there's a few things that I'm like kind of worried about. I mean, our dogs are very sweet and they're very good with kids. I think like when they get excited and they play and they want to like jump up on the couch, I think we're just gonna have to monitor like them not jumping up on the couch to like, sometimes they'll literally jump on the couch and start wrestling, and I don't want to be like holding our baby and like them jump up or something. So I think that's really it. Other than that, I feel like they're gonna be really loving, really protective. They're gonna want to cuddle him because both of my dogs are the biggest cuddle bugs ever. And so I just imagine like a weekend on the couch with like our baby, Cody and I, and the dogs just all cuddling, and it just, I'm so excited. What were your food aversions if you had any? Oh my gosh, my food aversions were the worst part of pregnancy for me. I always thought like before I got pregnant, I was like, oh, it's gonna suck to be nauseous, and I don't know, like my nausea was like bad, but I felt like I always felt better around like 1 or 2 and it was gone. My aversions were the worst thing in the world. It was like I had aversions to everything. Like coffee sounded disgusting, avocado sounded disgusting, which breaks my heart because those are my 2 favorite things in the whole entire world. I felt like I had to eat very plain food, and even on our honeymoon, my aversions started. And I remember like Cody being like, oh, want to go to dinner tonight? And I remember being like, oh crap, like I don't know what I'm gonna eat, but I'm trying to stick it out and like be good for the honeymoon and like have a good time. And I just remember getting soup. Like I had to eat very plain food, and I don't know why, but animal fries were like the only thing that like I really wanted to eat from In-N-Out. And so like I literally got that 3 times in 1 week. So the aversions were bad, and I'm nervous for them again if I get them again when I'm on my next pregnancy, because that's something I never heard of that before, but it was so freaking bad. But now they're completely gone. Like it only lasted like my first trimester. How did you know you were ready to have a kid? And congrats. Thank you so much. So Cody and I always talked about trying for kids after we got married. It's just kind of funny because I actually ended up getting pregnant like a week before we were gonna leave for our wedding, and I was a month pregnant at our wedding. So I don't know, I think like it was the right time in our lives. Like we have our careers, like we've been together a long time. Like I just think it was kind of the next step for us after we got married. And yeah, I'm just really excited, and it felt like the perfect time in our lives. And also I wanted to have a few kids before I was 30. I now don't know if that's gonna happen, but because I'll be 28 when we have our first baby. So, you know, maybe I can have 2 by 30, but we'll see. What's your labor plan? So I feel like I haven't really figured out a birth plan or really talked about this yet with my doctor, and I don't know if it's because I'm still so early on. I will give birth at a hospital, and I will have the epidural if I'm able to. Okay, has your skin started breaking out in 15 weeks? And mine has like crazy. So no, I actually haven't had any, okay, that's not true. When I got home from my honeymoon, I actually had a bunch of acne like on my cheek and like my face. And I was like, oh my God. And even on my wedding day, I rarely get pimples on my face now. When I was in high school, I had horrible acne like my whole life. But as an adult, I don't really get acne. And on my wedding day, I had like 3 pimples on my chin. And I think it was hormonal acne from being pregnant. I don't know, but I feel like I got that like very early on in pregnancy, and then I haven't had it really at all now. But one thing I did notice is I have been getting like some backne, which has been super frustrating and I never get. So I've just been trying to be really diligent about using like, I actually use my Tula face wash on like my back and stuff after I work out. So like I don't have any more breakouts back there. But yeah, so I feel like that's really it. But I haven't really had any like acne on my face. Only like that first little while. All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys like this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.